everybody. My name is Vandana. I am a counselor, and today we're going to be talking about a movie, #Home. It's a Malayalam film, and after a very long time, I have seen a movie which shows the right portrayal of psychologists. So many a times when we look at any TV shows or any movies, the role of the psychologists or counselors are very exaggerated. It's like, either they're giving out a lot of advices or you just, look at them and they find all the solutions to your problem. That's how it has been showcased in the recent years. If you take The Family Man, the portrayal of a counselor over there has really made us a laughing stock in the entire industry. Although it is a movie and it is fictional, but the portrayal of the same is not that right. So after a very long time, I saw a movie, an Indian movie, wherein the portrayal of counselor or psychologist is in a right manner. So there are a couple of things over here that was highlighted and portrayed or showcased in such a way that it really makes you pause and think that yes, counseling can be something really good, and that is the kind of message that you give to the masses, as a lot of people, educated or non-educated, watch such kind of movies and they can get inspiration from it. The first scene where the psychologist is shown, they show a very beautiful office, and the helper over there says that we do not have a lot of patients, so do not lose this particular patient. So that is very true. Like, many a times in our field, counselors might not have a lot of clients at some period of time, and they might have a lot of clients at some periods. So the showcasing of reality over here is something really appreciated. The second thing that happens over here is the society. How society views a psychologist. They say that psychologists treat people who are mental or who are pagal hai, right? So the remarks that is portrayed by different characters in the story shows how the society looks at a psychologist or a mental health professional, and the reality is shown, and how the psychologists over here tackle such kind of remarks is beautifully showcased. So there is this one particular scene, the introduction scene of the psychologist. So he asks the client what is the issue, and the client asks, is something really wrong with me that I have been recommended to see? So the psychologist explains what is the role of a counselor. So the explanation over here is so beautiful. So he says to the client that imagine that there is a room in your house which is filled with clutter. There is mess everywhere around you and it's really dirty. So if you clean this particular mess, or if you remove all of those clutters from that room, your room will become clean. So the role of the counselor over here is to assist you in cleaning all of these mess or all the dirt that you have put up in your life or in your mind through your thoughts or through different situations and instances. So this particular situation or this particular explanation truly shows the role of a counselor over here, right? And in layman terms, it is explained so beautifully. So that is something that I really, really liked about this movie, the introduction of the psychologist or the counselor. There is this another instance wherein, how the society says that a psychologist or a psychiatrist for that matter, they do witchcraft on you, right? So over here, the psychologist, how beautifully he explains to that character that it's not witchcraft. It is just that, many a times you lose focus of things that is happening around you because of your attention being focused on so many things that you miss out on certain small things in your life. So the example that he gave was, so the character was wearing a watch. Okay, so the counselor over here asked him what is the brand of this watch, and the person who was wearing this watch every single day did not remember what the brand was. So he looked at his watch. Then the counselor asked, okay, now that you've looked at your watch, so you tell me whether the dials of this watch is number or is it in Roman letters. The client was, or the character over here was saying that it is in numbers. But then it was not in numbers, it was just lines. So again, the character saw his watch. And the third time, the psychologist asked, now that you watched your watch 2 times, tell what the time is. And the character didn't know what the time was. So over here, the concept of mindfulness is so nicely explained, right? So many a times there are a lot of things that is happening around us, and these are certain things that we look at or we experience every single day, but we do not give it a lot of attention and focus. So the concept of mindfulness, that is, to be aware or to be mindful of what is happening around you, is so beautifully explained and so nicely portrayed. So that is something that I really, really liked about this particular scene of the counselor and the character of the movie. So another thing over here that the movie portrayed was sometimes with a lot of things happening in your life. It can be your work stress, it can be family related matters. We might lose out on sleep. And even because of COVID, a lot of things have changed and many of us are losing out on sleep. So the importance of Tai Chi or importance of calming your mind is very nicely portrayed. So right from the beginning of this movie, the group activity of Tai Chi being performed in a park is very nicely shown, and that is something that I really liked, how they picked upon a particular technique to assist you in your sleep. And finally, the crux of the entire movie, or the theme of this particular movie, one of the themes of this movie is on phone addiction. So the counselor over here so beautifully explains the concept of phone addiction by using the metaphor robber. So over here, the phone is the robber, and this robber does not steal your wealth, but it steals your time. So whenever you hear any notification, you are instantly drawn to that notification and you want to see what or who has sent you a message or what is happening in Instagram, right? So when we do that, we are giving a lot of time to such kind of things, and this really, makes us feel unproductive many a times. So you might be scrolling through your phone and you wouldn't have realized that even half an hour has passed, right? Because of these notifications and because of a lot of things that is being posted in the social media accounts. So many a times when we look at different people posting their success stories, or different people traveling around the globe or doing a lot of things, like for example influencers, when we see that they are getting paid for promoting certain products, or they have X number of followers or X number of comments and likes, it can really affect the psyche of an individual. It can really make people wonder, why am I not able to accomplish this? This person is of my age, this person is doing exactly what I'm doing, but how is it that this person is more successful than I am? Right? Such kind of thoughts develop, and this in turn makes us feel unproductive or makes us feel bad for ourselves, and this pulls down our productivity. And when this happens, we generally yell at our family members, we get really angry, we do not meet our deadlines, we don't sleep well. So all of these things affects us internally and externally as well. And how the analogy of the phone being a robber is very beautifully explained by the counselor in this movie. The fear of missing out and the idea that I am not able to do anything is also very nicely explained. And the comparison over here is that, how smokers, when they do not smoke cigarette for a long period of time, feel the same way a person without his phone experiences something very similar to what a smoker or an addict feels without that particular drug. The only difference over here is that the smoker knows that he is smoking and it is injurious to his health. But a phone addict, he might find it very difficult to first identify that he's addicted to his phone, and then later on, see the repercussions of it in the health of the individual. So the comparison and the way it is being explained is something that I really, really liked. It was not hurting any particular group of individuals. It was talking facts. It was talking about the reality. And that is something that I really, really loved about this movie. And also the cure was discussed, like for any addiction for that matter. How a cure is done is first the realization and acceptance that yes, I am addicted to a particular thing, and to slowly distance away from it, right? So that was very nicely portrayed, and how in the movie the entire family also learns to agree that yes, going to a psychologist is not such a bad thing. It is not only for mental people, it is for your own peace of mind. And whatever is happening in your life, there might be certain knots or there might be certain situations that you repress inside of you. So all of these things can be addressed in a healthy manner and you have a healthy outlet for the same. So I loved how it was being portrayed, and after a very long time, I'm really seeing a movie wherein the portrayal of a counselor is done in the right way. It is not done in a derogatory way to that profession. It has been done very nicely, and thank you so much for getting such kind of movies. And I'm sure that this will really, at least by 1% or 0.5%, have an impact on the society, that going to counseling sessions is not that bad of a thing. Thank you so much for watching. If you like our content, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.